think we're good. I think we're recording.
Here we are. Hello, my friends. Good afternoon, everybody. Here I am with a super sexy Sage, directly from Croatia, here in Djibouti. Wonderful. Now I am in Djibouti. Look, my friend.
Djibouti.
She's my friend in Croatia, but she's American. Yeah, you like it?
Yes, hello.
Now I am in Djibouti, baby. This is one of the smallest country of Africa, and there is nothing here. There is just a lot of port. There is the ferry boat and the wonderful people.
The wonderful people. Tell me, this isn't going to be all about Djibouti, but what are the people like? Why are they so wonderful?
People here, because they're very friendly. They don't bother a lot like in the rest of Africa, because in the other places are very boring. For some aspect are boring, but in the other aspect, I miss a lot of them because the energy that you find in Africa, with all their smiling, with all their spontaneous activities, is another thing. I think I won't find anything like that in the rest of the world. Only in Africa, only in the southern Africa. I mean, until Kenya, from South Africa to Kenya, the situation it was like that. But as soon as I went out of Kenya, things changed a lot, insanely. But I mean, people are always friendly, nice. There are, however, I'm generalizing, but there are always people and people, you know.
Right. How have people been overall in Africa? Has everyone been pretty friendly, or were there countries where you felt a little unsafe or uncomfortable?
No, unsafe, never. I always felt good. I mean, I was never going out in the night or something.
Yeah.
I was maximum sleeping in my tent into the bush. But most of the time, people were always kind, friendly. They wanted to help when I was in a hard situation. The only tough things was maybe that they were always asking money.
Of course, yeah.
No,
Everywhere.
you were seeing the small kids that they were sent by the mom, and they were coming to ask money, and they didn't know even what was money. You know, they were saying, give me money," but they don't know what is money. You know, because they were kids, and it was just, you know, when the mother, when the black people see the Muzungu, that is the Muzungu is the white man. They think, he's rich, so now we have to try to take as much more money possible. But thankfully, not everybody is like this. But in a lot of places, yes, it was like this. And this is the only things that bother me, because for the rest of the things, I never felt unsafe or uncomfortable. Yes, because they are. You get tired because they always surround you. They always ask you questions. They always
Like
want to know.
paparazzi.
You're exactly like paparazzi. I was the VIP every time I was going in a village. I was the VIP. People they asking always photo and this, you know.
Yeah.
It was, but thankfully, all along the journey, I never had a problem, a very big problem. Small problems, yes, but not that big. Okay.
So do you remember how we met?
Obviously, I remember how we met. Amore, how can I forget? We met on couch surfing with Hangout. We met at the bar with John, the Australian guy from Melbourne. And we enjoyed the day. And then the day, I remember also that then in the night, we went to that pub. We got a little bit tipsy. I remember that I didn't want to go home because I wanted to spend the night with you, and I was looking for you, but you were back in the hostel yet. So I was like, oh no, my baby. So we met the day after in the bar, that lovely stylish bar, and then I went to catch the train for Slovakia.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
remember
sad.
every single details, baby. Obviously, I remember our wonderful meeting.
I'm so grateful for it. You know what? I remember seeing you on the couch surfing platform, and I was like, this guy looks so friendly. And so I was like, I'd never really surfed, especially in Europe. And I decided to message you and just asked if you wanted to like meet up. and I was with a friend of mine, John, who you mentioned, and then later we met Joel. But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna invite this guy out, and I doubt like he's gonna show up. And you showed up, and I was amazed.
Just because I showed up. I understand. So basically, you didn't do a lot of couch surfing before.
No, you're literally the reason why I do it, why I have done it as much as I have. You got me into this. Like,
I'm so happy to listen. I'm so grateful. Thank you so
you
much.
remember, so we were in Budapest, and
Yeah.
you were telling me about your amazing experiences, and I was at this shitty hostel with like overflowing showers, getting horrible sleep, and I was telling you about it, and you were like, "Oh, you should stay with the people. They're amazing. They're so kind." And so, host, amazing dude from Romania, was living in Budapest. And do you remember coming with me to the cafe to meet him? Because I was terrified. I was like, I'm going to stay with a stranger guy. Like,
Yeah.
it turned
That you also sent me the photo the day after, and we met with the two random with a couple. Do you remember that we
yeah.
met also with?
Yep.
You know that? Do you know that with that guy that I met just in Budapest, like you, with that guy, I've been spending such amazing experience the same year. We worked together, we traveled together. It's incredible.
No.
And he was like, I don't know what to do now. This I said, my friend, listen to me. I buy for you a ticket. You come to work in my team in Sweden. And he was like, oh my God, that is me. And we had such an amazing time. Jesus Christ. That was such an inspirational period for everybody.
I absolutely, definitely. I don't think I would have had the courage to do it, but I really wanted to. And so I don't know. I just said F it because of my hostel situation, and I tried it, and I was like, this is amazing. Definitely doing this anywhere I go. Like, it's a great cultural experience. And the fact that I met you, like, if I hadn't met you and seen the crazy traveling you were doing, I don't think I would have kept going the way I have. So
And
thank
if I would see now, I would never say that was such a crazy big travel because what I'm doing now it's really big crazy travel.
yeah, I thought you were crazy then, and
Yeah, I
now
am.
that's great. Did you just start? I remember you lived in Australia to cook pizza at a restaurant. Is that right?
As always.
And of course. And why? Like, what made you want to go to Australia?
To Australia because I was working in London and I was having my good time, best life. I was living in skyscraper, having great job in the city, great situation, good friends. But I was missing something, and that thing that I was missing was the adventure, the the freedom of life, enjoying the nature. London is just work, 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 work. So my brother moved to Australia to do working holiday visa, and he was like, Stefano, if you come here, you will easily find job. Australia is looking for pizza chef. So I was like, you know what, fuck off everything I have here. I go to Australia. So after 3 weeks, I joined my brother and we enjoyed together that fucking crazy country. Supposed even to stay there longer, but unfortunately, I had the accident with caravan in the desert. So
Yeah.
I broke down my arm. I went to hospital, 3 surgery, come back to Italy for rehabilitation, and then I find out the University of Gastronomic Science. So I was like, okay, this is perfect. I can spend my recovery in the university. So that was the first year. Then the second year of university, I went to study in Spain, where I was also working. And then the third year was last few exam stage, and then after I started traveling when we met.
That's where we met. Yeah, so I'm honored that we met in the kind of in the beginning
Yeah,
before
but
you.
you know why I was doing the journey?
Why?
Because I basically finished all my exam and stage in the end of January. So
Mhm.
I spoke with the secretary of my university and I said them, so now I have everything ready. Can I take my degree earlier in April. So at the beginning they said yes. Then when we approached to March, they said no, you can't anymore. And I was like, what the fuck I have to do now that I have nothing to do for 3 4 months? And then the secretary told me, Stefano, I don't know what to tell you. Make a journey, make a trip. I was like, you know what, man? You're fucking right. I prepared my backpack, and after 2 days I was in Romania and I started traveling hitchhiking. After
Just two
Romania, I
days.
arrived to Hungary. That's how it
Okay.
goes.
That's how it goes.
I just,
If you can't see the direction you want to go, you just find another direction to go and make it an adventure.
and that's what happened.
And then we met.
So thanks to the secretary we met, Sage.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, it's really true. Like all of the shitty experiences I've had have led me into a direction that I'm even happier with than the original
Yeah.
outcome. Do you have any idea what like that missing feeling was, or what kind of like inspired you? You know, you said something was missing and you have found that in traveling, and have you figured out what that was?
No, I didn't understand. I didn't understand the question.
So you're cracking me up right now.
I found myself first of all. I found that energy, that spirit that I didn't know that I had, or maybe I was just focusing that energy in something else that was working. So the thing that I found out is that there is such a great life beyond the work, the career, all that things that usually people are looking for, you know. So it was just
Right.
like I gonna start just enjoying life like I want. I gonna invest my time for myself and not for make big the wallet of other business, you know.
Right.
So that's what I that's what I find out after the first crazy decision. And then as much more I was going ahead, I was always answering to questions, and I was making to myself new questions, you know. I was asking to myself new questions, because that's also the beauties of traveling, you know.
Yeah, and you said
Always.
you have you kind of have written that stuff in a diary, right? Or some kind of a notebook?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
i'm
Yeah.
I'm right. That's what I'm doing, especially when I'm down with my mood, when I don't know what to do. I just take my book, I take a pen, and I start to write down my thoughts.
And what can you share with me what any of those questions have been that you've had?
The question that I make to myself, you mean? Huh?
Yeah, I feel like
First of
that's
all, I
mhm,
some things that I ask to myself is even related to the question that you asked me a few days ago, like what is love? What is the meaning of marriage? How religion influenced our cultures, our mentality? You know, all these things. I go crazy. I start to ask myself, how does it work, the evolution of the human being, you know? And then when I was in the jungle, I find out that, fucking hell, we come from monkeys, we come from jungle, we come from, what? Because people there look like monkey, like gorillas. It's insane. I remember one meeting I had when I was in the jungle. I was like a bit tired. I was my head down, and when I put over my head, I see in my eyes one man that was basically almost naked, and his feet were like. It seemed like they had the shoes in their feet, you know, but they didn't. It was just like a natural shoes, you know. Their eyes were so fucking red and deep, like animals' nose. Was insane.
are
Those
you
are
sure
the
you
topic
didn't take
questions.
acid? Like what?
What? No, 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 no. I swear, no acid, no shit. The only drug, the only two drug I take during the no three drug. The first one is marijuana. The second one is a chat, which is this one, which is a legal drug here. This is a legal. This is like the coke leaves, you know, but
Wow.
it's very similar effect to the coke leaves, but these are more common in this area of the world, like Ethiopia, Djibouti, Yemen, and it's amphetamine basically.
All right. You
But you
have a
need
good
to,
time.
but you need to drink a lot. And my third favorite drug is chacanella. That's it. Those are the. That's it. I didn't take any acid. So and when I was very sober when I was in the jungle. So
Okay. All right. Well, so this will be an interesting call then. I have those questions too. It's kind of like asking what's the meaning of life while you're traveling and kind of just letting your mind explore.
yeah.
And so how have you like processed those thoughts and those feelings, and has traveling helped you with that, or what advantage have you gained?
The things that I'm for sure understanding is that I have to enjoy it,
Yeah.
because we just run, we just go like crazy. We like, for example, I remember the European life, the working in London or even in Australia. You work like crazy, you fight
Yeah.
to have money, to make a career, and then you just forgot to enjoy the little things. And
Yeah.
we we buy a lot of stuff and then we never use it. This is one thing that the journey also taught me, that we don't really need a lot of things to be happy or to enjoy the life. Me, I'm living from 7 months just with a bicycle and few things, and a few bags, and
Yeah.
I feel also I have a lot of things. So imagine, we
Hmm.
really don't need a we that's why we work and we buy a lot of stuff and shit if we don't really need it. We are fighting for the needs of other people. So what's the point? Why should I live for that? I don't want
Yeah.
that. I
Definitely. Not if
prefer
it's,
I,
not making you happy.
yes, if I have to help someone, I want to help them in a really nice way and in my way.
Your way. And
And
so what
about
is your way?
what is that?
What's your way? What's your way of helping, and what's making you happy while you're doing
the
all of this?
first the first way of helping someone is giving good vibes. This is the first thing that I do, and I do it everywhere I am. And obviously I have to be in a good mood, because if I am in a bad mood, then I'm scared to send bad vibes. But what I love is to share my good vibes and to give a smile, even for little things. Even if I go to a bar and there is a waitress, I want to make her happy. And it seems is something small, but in my opinion, it has a very big impact to the people. Opla.
Hmm.
I would love even to help people, teaching them, giving my help to the education. Indeed, for example, when I was in Zambia and I've been doing volunteering for children, it was for me super grateful, and I felt like fucking hell. However, I cannot change the entire society of a country, but at least I'm giving my impact to 50, 100 children. And maybe that 100 children one day can give a good impact to the future. So I'm happy with what I'm doing. The if I mean if everybody will do some small things like this, there will be less hate. But even this one is a very long. This is also a very long argument, because even volunteering, even behind volunteering, there are a lot of shit. I can tell you, because I lived it on my skin and on the skin of other people. And so even this one is another particular topic. But whatever you are doing, like volunteering or any other things, if you do it with the mission of helping people, I would say it's grateful for yourself and for people you are also helping. And I find a lot of good vibes, just sharing my mood, my experience, my stories, even the things, that the fact that give inspiration to people through social media. That is also another things that I love, and I feel like I'm helping, I'm giving my contribution to the world.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I think it's great. You have so much energy.
You know what I think, actually, that we have the possibility. I mean, we could have the energy. We are not all the same, obviously. But if we know how to talk with ourselves, if we understand which are our values, if we are connected with ourselves, if our mind, our body, and our spirit is well connected, then
Mhm.
you're gonna find inside of yourself a power, a energy that you didn't know to have. Because I make an example. You are now in Croatia, and you are there because you have a good job, you are doing a good money. Okay, with your head, maybe you are good, but with your spirit, maybe not, because you would love to be enjoying the nature in New Zealand, you know. So
Mhm.
if your body, your mind, and your soul are not together in the same place, then you won't have that energy, and that's the problem. Because a lot of time we are disturbed, we are because of, you know, so even TikTok, the bullshit, the TV, other people, they bring us out of our way, so we don't find our real energy, you know.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
important, it's important to have a conversation with yourself inside, and understanding what is a really worth for yourself. And when you're doing something that is good for your mind, for your body, and for your soul, then you're doing the right way, and you're gonna
Mhm.
express all the right energy that you have inside, you know.
Yeah, and that's like a constant battle, right? Like I know when I was traveling, I had so many options and so many choices of what I could do, where I could go, how I could use my time, and I really had to boil it down to like my figuring out my genuine values to make sure I was doing it the right way for me.
Yeah,
And that's hard, and you really have to think about yourself. You have to be in touch with your body because there are so many constant changing variables around you. Like I remember, I would go days without changing my clothes or showering because I'm so focused on like where my mind is, and just keeping other things in order that I would just completely forget about my clothes.
yeah.
So what's that been like for you? How have you connected with yourself throughout this journey?
uh,
All of these
I think
50 countries now?
what now
You've gone to 50 countries, right?
50. Yes,
Okay.
Djibouti is the country number 50.
Yay.
Congratulations, my friend. I would say, I think, first, the things that I don't know, what is the things that you no,
How
the last question was not that clear.
how have you connected with yourself?
Yeah. The first time that I felt I really entered deep inside of myself, it was when I met the death, actually, when I was in Australia. In that
Okay.
moment, I understood that I had to develop some skill, like being prudent, being
Yeah.
uh, to planning well the journey. I had to learn a lot of things. So I started to talk with myself, what's wrong, why it happened. I started to understand which were my bads, and then I
Hmm.
started to working on that. From that moment, I think my life completely changed. I started to focusing on what has really value for me. I understood
Yeah.
that life life can this can take your life from one moment to another one. You know, you can even be in your room, and it arrive some bad things, like a natural event or something to yourself, and then you are fucked up. You know, so you
Yeah.
can always be in dangers. But if you prevent the dangers that you can that you can meet, then you also feel more self-confident, you feel more power and everything. So that's how then I went further with my journey. And as much more I was traveling, as much more I was going deep inside of myself, because I was comparing myself and my experience with new cultures, new people, new environments. So I think that from that moment is I started to figure out with myself.
Sorry, I'm laughing at you.
The sick, I had one leaf here. It stopped on my throat. Jesus Christ. Yeah, when I drink, my friend. Oh my God. I drink even this.
Uh,
That's also what the journey gave me, more madness.
You've had that all along, sounds like.
Ah, yes, for sure, for sure. But can I tell you one thing? I'm fine with that. I enjoy.
No, it's a good thing. I think, that we need more people like you in the world.
Amore. Lovely. Super
I
second
think
ever.
so. But I
Yeah.
think you make a great point. Like, and I had a similar experience. I didn't have some kind of an accident or a near death experience, but the death of someone I knew, my age, was kind of what led me to thinking about how we're only going to be, all of that jazz about we're only going to be here temporarily. And honestly, you just never know when something's going to happen. And
Yeah.
that, that stark reminder of your own mortality can really drive you to be motivated in a lot of ways. And like, I guess that sense of anger can become motivation. And
Yes, obviously. But that's how you see that kind of emotions because I mean the anger it's normal that arrive especially when your patience is over, when you get tired, when your mind or your body will get tired, so you feel more sensitive, and you are
yeah,
even and it even happened that you throw out some anger. But it's always important to, I mean, look, if you have some way how to do meditation, yoga, if you maybe you do meditation while you are cycling, but it's always good to take a brief, and taking your time and understanding what is if it's worth, you have to
mhm,
it's worth to get to take out to give this anger to other people, you know. But
sometimes.
but it's important even to throw this out or to do something to change this. And you do it. I mean, I do it with sport. I do it when I cycle. That when I have a down mood, I want to start. I start to walk. I start to think, reflecting. But it's normal that these kind of things arrive. Obviously, it's not that I'm always good vibes, good vibes. The last period in Ethiopia, I was a shit, a completely shit, shit. I was like 2 weeks. I didn't have even the energy to take out the phone from the bag because I was tired. Everything was or
Oh,
destroyed or broken or not working, and the people tired were tiring. And a lot of things. You know, the landscape was tough to cycle on. A lot of moments where like I had bad vibes, even thinking, maybe I'm gonna give up, you know. But then it's you should never take decision when you are too happy or when you are too down, you know. It's
yeah,
good
yeah,
to maybe yes, you have the ideas, but you have to keep reflecting on that, especially when you are calm. And it's not that I'm not saying you don't have to take a decision when you are too much optimistic, but it's important to how to say to realizing to reflecting very well because you have to understand what are the positive effects, the negative effects. I can prepare
right.
better these things, you know, the thing that I was saying that the Australian journey told me that you don't have to do things just because you are too much excited, you know. It's
Mhm.
like, for example, that you get married after one night sex because that night sex was wonderful, and you think that all the no, maybe that night you were just drunk or there was just a wonderful situation. But you have to reflect, you have to understand. I mean, this is my point of view because here in
Yeah.
Africa, people get married and they don't even know each other. You know, this is my
Mhm.
point of this is my point of view. But yeah, this is how I'm facing life, and I'm also enjoying. Yes, my
Yeah.
friend. You enjoy your
It's
life, man? Ah, you're the best.
it's all about like the consequences, right? And you have to
Yeah.
consider what they are. And I think that's what really traveling trains you to do a little bit better is consider all the consequences and all the little steps in between. That can be really mentally exhausting because it's like when you like, so I've been in this apartment for a couple months, and so I have my day-to-day routine, and I don't really have to think about things. But when I'm traveling, like, I always have to think about the new environment, the new stimulus, the new ways to navigate through the places, and that is exhausting after
Yeah.
quite some time. Um, what was I going to say? But your point was great. Whenever you were struggling in Ethiopia, like not to give up then, because I heard this quote and I love it. Only give up on your best days. You can only quit on your best days. So yeah, I think I've had those moments also in traveling where I'm like, God, why did I do this? This sucks. This was such a bad idea. And then when I get through it at the end, it's so rewarding in a good way that I'm glad I didn't give up just from that struggle. And it just makes you a little stronger emotionally.
Exactly. Then you're gonna become way more stronger. That's a very beautiful thing. And then you realize a lot of things after, and you were like, so my thought it was not that right. Look what I can do. I can go even further that limit. So determination in this, I think that in this situation is important to be very determined and to keep in your mind your mission, your goal, your vision. So
Yeah,
like
you
this,
have to
then
have that
you
why
find the
factor.
strength to go further. Yes, exactly.
And if you don't, sometimes, and I think any of us could have a change in our why factor at some point, but it's that factor that motivates us as our reason for doing it and keeps us, pushing through. So we've covered a lot of interesting stuff. I'm really excited about this.
I'm excited, baby.
So this
We are
is
keeping
actually
doing very well. Ay, amore. Okay, I'm here.
so have you found any kind of love while you've been abroad? How has romance
Yes,
been? What about relationships? Tell me.
yes. My chacanella, my bicycle. That is my favorite love. Chacanella. Ciacanella. Ciacanella.
That's your lover, okay.
No, I mean, you know what? Along my journey, I would say that, you know what? The real journey for me is the journey of the life.
Okay.
And it happened that I met a wonderful woman in one country, another wonderful connection in another country. There are some person that I still keep in touch, but
Me? I'm
as
kidding.
well, as well, baby. But I never decided to do that step. Like I want to go ahead with something because I just think it's something that must to come natural. I don't want to force or something. Maybe it will arrive that moment that I want to look, I want to stop and look for that, but at the moment I am in that mood, like I just want to go into the flow. And if I have people who want to be in the same situation I am and following the flow, then
Mhm.
it's super fine. But I'm not like, okay, I want someone to stay that I have to keep in my hand because we have to go with the river together. No, for me it's not like this. I think
Mhm.
that the river is the life, and all of us we have we have different skills or
Mhm.
different way how to enjoy the flow of the river. So whenever I find people which are going in the same direction of mine, in the same way of my way, then I'm
Mhm.
so happy to enjoy because it means that we are connected and we are surfing on the same wave. So
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
it's like this, then I want to enjoy. But if I have to tell you that I'm searching for someone or I feel like now I want to go back because I felt so good with that woman,
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you no because that's not my focus right now. But yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, I met a lot of wonderful people, especially few women that made me feel very, 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 very good, and uh, and I still keep in good touch, and we enjoy our life in a different way because now I'm doing uh, I'm doing something that is different than what they want to do.
Mhm.
It's normal. But yes, I will say that I not in that way like love, big love, but I easily
Mhm.
fall in love because I give, I also give a lot of passion, love, and when you share, especially when you share a lot of things for a long time with someone, you create that kind of connection. But when you stay just for a few days, maybe 1 week or something, then it's easy to not have that deep thinking about that person. Especially in my situation, that every day I have to think about the day. I have to think. I don't
Definitely.
know where I fucking sleep. I don't know where I'm gonna end up. I don't know
You're
if
in
I gonna go
survival mode.
further. Okay, that was my little answer.
Wonderful. No, I'm always curious how other nomads and travelers handle like their romantic situations because people have a lot of opinions. For me, for example, people tell me like my traveling is just a phase. Some people, or some people assume that, and I'm like, no, actually,
Your
I've
your
been
travel your travel is just
a phase, like
what is a
temporary,
phase?
a momentary part of life. Like you're not going to do this forever, kind of thing.
And people, how people they know that?
They don't. Exactly.
What are they talking about?
Exactly.
Any bullshit to tell people. You can't imagine now, especially in the last period that I'm receiving a lot of type of messages during the last period. People that tell me how you can do this, can you help me? You give me inspiration. This, a lot of beautiful messages, and I also receive some, the hater messages, this kind of stuff, and I'm like, wow, wow, it's so beautiful to see
You're
those messages
Scorpion.
from people who stay just in their house or in their garden. Maybe they go to cycling just around their house, and they tell me what I have to do, if I'm good, if I'm not good, you know. So taking licks.
The haters everywhere. It's true. It's true. I mean, you're gonna have haters. And I was just thinking about it today. Like there's always going to be people with
Yeah,
a different perspective than yours. And
especially when you grow, especially when you grow, when
yeah,
people don't know you, when
mhm,
they are frustrated, when
mhm,
they want to do what you're doing but they don't have the courage or they don't have the skills, and instead of admiring you,
yeah,
they are jealous,
mhm,
so instead of throwing out the right vibes, because that's what I think. There are some emotions that are on the same line level, but there is the negative side and the positive side, but the
yeah,
emotion is the same. So that's what I think. They just focus maybe in the negative side of that vibe and not
mhm,
in the good vibes. But
mhm.
that's their problem. I don't care.
It's their problem, definitely. And I think
I
traveling. Go ahead.
Yes, the traveling go ahead, the life go ahead, and I won't stop for someone else. Neither for people that maybe yes really care of me and they tell me to stop because maybe they are scared, they want to see me, they want me closer. But the life is mine. I
The
didn't ask
life is
anybody to come in the world. I'm not compromising with anybody. The only compromise I've done is with myself. So that's it. I just have to care about myself.
definitely. I mean, you're number one. Um,
Hey, after you, you're number zero, sexy.
oh. And so, what about like your personal boundaries as far as, you meet people all over the world who have a different sense of boundaries than yours. Like, how have your boundaries changed because of traveling? How have you grown and how have you grown to like protect yourself from people with shitty boundaries?
Uh, you know what? I would love to say. I think that as much more you travel, as much more boundaries you go over,
Mm-hmm. Cool.
much more even the limits that are in your mind go like way more up, so you understand way more things, you are more open mind, you are more to understand some situation, you are able to understand more the feeling of the people. I mean, it's also depend always how you are at the basic, so you're gonna go over your limits, not the limits of other people. Actually, the first limit I went over was the fact that the things that I was thinking about African people, they steal, they are bad, they are so
Yeah.
poor, they're gonna take everything from you.
Hmm.
Absolutely no. Absolutely no. Yes, maybe they want what you have, they need something that you have. Yes, obviously, because they are fucking poor. They
Yeah.
don't even have. I remember when I got malaria. I was soon in the private clinic. I was after 2 days. I was super good. So I was like, but why malaria is so that bad that people go crazy that they think, oh my god, you have malaria now, you're gonna die. The problem is not the. I mean, yes, with malaria is a disease that you can easily die if you
Mhm.
don't treat it. If you have $15, $20 to pay the medication, you treat the malaria like a normal disease. The
Mhm.
problem in Africa is that the 95, 96%, it's fucking poor. They don't even have the money to pay their food. You know,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Hmm.
So as soon as I started traveling, I went over a lot of boundaries that were words, fear, bullshit, a lot of
Hmm.
things, especially of Africa, the
Hmm.
poor Africa, the black Africa. It's, you know what? It's a very big mix of feeling because there are. It's even hard to explain.
It is
Fuck,
a weird way to feel, definitely.
Africa, you have to leave it. Africa, you have to, it's something that I can explain you with my point of view, but you will never understand since you're gonna arrive. And
Hmm.
when you're gonna be in Africa, enjoying Africa, you're gonna laugh about people who are scared of you because you are there. Because it's another world. And I mean,
Yeah.
yes, you have to take care because there are very dangerous situations in Africa, and at the
Yeah.
same times there are so amazing, wonderful situations everywhere in every country wherever I've been. All the 14 countries I've been in Africa, there are a lot of positive things. There are also negative aspects, and then it's all about you, where you want to focus, what you want to do, in which side you want to be.
Yeah, which, there you're being faced with so many different positives and negatives, and it's up to you to, decide which of those things you're going to focus your energy
Yeah,
on. Are you going to let the negative things wear you out, or are you going to focus on the positives?
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
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 What are like how you've obviously faced a lot of difficulties throughout your travels, and
Yeah.
how have you dealt with that and the difficult emotions, or like you were talking about Ethiopia, or seeing things that are uncomfortable, seeing people in such a extreme poverty? How have you digested that?
So the difficulties that I've been facing, it,
Hmm.
it seems weird to say, but I was looking for that.
What?
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I was like, okay, I want to be arrested, so I will do everything that they're gonna arrest him. No, not this, obviously. But I
Okay.
started being in a mood. Like I remember at the beginning, I said to a friend, "Oh my god, it's starting to be so boring this journey because it's not happening anything. I have to go crazy. Because
Hmm.
when you
Okay.
have problem, when you have difficulties, you're gonna develop as well.
Hmm.
Um, Another sense, like you improve your skills of adaptability. You find a
Hmm.
way how to fix things in a very random situation, and one rule that life taught me was that wherever you are, whatever you are doing, don't worry. Soon will arrive someone to help you. Okay, so sooner or late, someone will arrive. And this is like this. It was in the desert of Kenya when I broke the bicycle. It was in the desert of Australia. It was in a lot of situations where I was in a bad situation, and then arrived someone to help me. So I
Yeah.
always think that at the end, if I can survive 3 days, if I have enough water to survive 3 days, I'm fine. So I
Oh my
don't.
God, you literally had me so scared when you freaking posted on Instagram. You were like, it was like your bike broke or something when you were in the
Yeah.
middle of the desert.
Spaccato il cambio, ma si è proprio rotto, cioè si è proprio, guardate qua, si è proprio. That
I thought
was
I was gonna have to call
that
someone.
moment. Yeah, in that moment, obviously, in the first moment, I was sad,
Yeah.
but I never thought in like, oh, okay, now I cannot do anything else. I'm shit. Maybe in the first moment it happened, but I started already thinking, okay, what I can do. The solution could be going into that place to fix it, going to Nairobi to buy new stuff, do
Mhm.
this. There are always then way how to fix the situation.
Yeah.
Then even during this time it's important, the vibes, the things where you focus on, because even the fact that happened after I got in jail for one night and I had to go back to Addis Abeba and stay there for 2 weeks waiting my passport. But you know how many wonderful things I've been doing during that 2 weeks. I've been cooking panzerotti in a techno festival with
Oh my
hundreds people,
gosh.
and I've been sold out. I've been enjoying at the beach with a wonderful view, with a wonderful people, having the greatest, one of the greatest day of the journey, just the day before leaving Ethiopia and realizing now I am in the end of Africa, you know. So even the things of the passport, let me understand, fucking hell, Stefano, you don't need to run. You don't need to like, oh, I have to arrive to fucking hell, enjoy the journey,
Yeah.
enjoy what life is telling you. Maybe the things of the passport, you had to lose it because there were, you had to still to enjoy Africa. I was not ready. I think if I
It
would
was
have arrived to Djibouti 2 weeks ago, I would have been so fucking bad, because I wouldn't understand that Africa was finished, you know. In my idea at the beginning, it was like, oh my god, Africa, it's a journey that will never finish. It's such a huge continent, and then 7 months just flies,
yeah.
just flies,
It's so
insane.
weird whenever it's all behind you and you're like, damn, I did that? That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
It's gonna be even more interesting. Like I'm grateful that you actually made it through Africa safe and in one piece.
Gonna be another. It's gonna be another life. I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot of energy because I
Yeah.
learned. Because you know what, here in Africa, you learn how to organize your energy, because you throw
Mhm.
out energy in every way,
Yeah.
because of the sun, because of the traveling, because of the people, because a lot of things, you don't have facilities, you don't have anything, so you have to understand how to organize your energy to survive. But
Yeah.
now that I'm going through countries that they are super, they host you, they do this, and it's not that hard, you can easily find pieces, you know. I'm sure the things will be, let's say, not that easier, but I will face the journey with such an amazing power. I already feel it, you know. I already feel this power, this energy.
I love it.
Africa taught me a lot of things, and I'm so glad of that. So glad.
Oh, real quick, like explain your journey, right? So you did southwest of Africa all the way up to northeast, and then now you're going through the Middle East,
Yes,
Asia, then sailing to the U.S. Is that correct?
exactly. You got
So
it.
that's like an extra. You're doing like an extra 50 something countries, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think that at the end of the journey, if
Uh-huh.
I'm good, I will reach 100 countries.
How have you managed your energy? Because traveling can be exhausting. And how have you connected with others differently throughout your travels?
With others.
Yeah, like how have you connected with people differently than before? In the beginning, when you started traveling, you connected on a surface level, and
Ah,
now you
okay, okay,
connect
okay,
deeper, right?
okay, 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 okay. I tell you, okay, okay, I understand. So when I started the journey, actually, I had a lot. I was feeling like the king of the world, because I had a lot of energy. I was starting this crazy journey or something. And at the beginning, I was feeling a lot of energy. I was just pushing, and I was a little bit scared of the people.
Mhm.
So yes, I was approaching to people because I love to do that,
Mhm.
but very slowly, slowly. As
Mhm.
much more I was going ahead of the journey, I was losing energy. So I had, for example, to stop more times, to asking something to people, information. I had to get some energy from people, even asking one information. So I had to speak with people. I had to talk with people. I was like forced to do something I was avoiding before, and I realized that. For example, even African people, I was always taking them, hey, my friend, come with me. I was shaking the head, enjoying, drinking. I had such a lot of fun with African people as well.
Mm-hmm.
So my way of approach, I will say, it definitely changed from this to this, because at the beginning I was maybe scared, approaching slowly, and
Mm-hmm.
then I started to have such a feeling with African people that now I
You got
miss,
used to
because
them.
yes, but because they are friendly, they are genuine, they are natural. I make an example. Usually, when if in Europe, I imagine myself in Italy, that I broke the tire of my car, for
Yeah.
example. If I don't call someone, it's hard that someone stop and help me. If something like this happen in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
people, the first, if it's not the first, the second one gonna stop. If you see you in difficulty, they stop. They help each other. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
if you are a Muzungu, if you are white, maybe they want to ask you money or something, they ask you something back. But the things that they soon stop, it's something wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
In Maybe in Europe, the mentality is that okay, if there is a problem, they call someone to fix it, and they pay. And if you pay, someone come to fix, or if there is an interest, usually is like this in the developed countries. But in those countries where you don't have anything, when you are in the shit, whatever you have, you share it. If it's a piece of
Yeah.
bread, if it's a piece of knowledge, if it's just giving a hand, pushing the car which is stopped, they do it. They help
Yeah.
a lot each other.
I think,
Maybe
sorry to interrupt, but like this is something that really gets me. When I travel, I realize that people who have less and travel more are so much more generous and willing to give and help than your average person who,
But
is
it's
used
also, why? Because when you have a lot of things, you are even afraid to lose all the
to,
things that you have. But when you have nothing to lose, you're gonna face everything. If you have nothing to lose, you have the balls to face everything. Because you don't have the money that cover your cock. You don't have that. You just have that, and you have to use your how you call it. Oh, you have to use no worry, nothing.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
And
you got it.
I get it. Let me not ask you a question. And what to conclude this, share something that you really want to share.
What I want to share
Yeah.
about, you mean of the conversation.
Anything that because this is all about not so much about where you've gone, but more about who you are because of where you've gone. So share whatever you want.
Whatever I want to share is positive vibes, baby. I want to share all my happiness, all the things that happen in my journey. I want to share with everybody who want to follow me, and we're gonna learn a lot of things together along the journey, because I have a lot of things to learn. I have no idea of what's gonna happen tomorrow, of the future. I just have my vision. I have my mission. I see myself that I'm reaching this great goal, which is cycling all around the world. I know that I have good thoughts, good teachment, good thoughts, good thoughts, and good expectation. I mean, I try even to not have a lot of expectation, but it comes natural. But
Right.
yes, that's what I want to share. My journey and my life with whoever want to follow me.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Truly so happy that I met you and that you.
Baby, come on. No, no, you make me bored. Oh, no, you make me excited of this, please. But
No,
I'm sure. Now, baby, one thing that I'm sure is that we are going to meet each other again.
I
Definitely.
mean, why would we not?
Exactly. We are two crazy travelers. We are two crazy motherfuckers. So we must meet.
I hope so. I really enjoyed my time with you in Budapest and following you. Every
Yeah.
time I see your YouTube or any post you make, it's like it makes me stop and think about what I'm doing and if I'm doing enough that I'm content with my life right now. Um,
Maybe I the suggest that I want to give you, maybe whatever you are doing, feel it first of all. Feel that you really want to do it. That is something that benefits on you and the environment, the people who surround you. And whenever you are doing something that is good for all those things and you do it with passion, whatever you are doing, wherever you are, with whoever you are doing the fucking good thing, baby. Don't worry. Just make something that makes you and your environment and people happy. That is one of the most grateful things I think. Then you don't ignore the fucking non-sayers that they tell you, you cannot do this. You know what? Now, to conclude, I share you 5 rules that
Oh,
I follow from Australia, since that period that changed my life,
yes, please.
and that helped me to, let's say, to have success, or at least to reach what I want. So
Mhm.
these are 5 rules that I always follow. These are the basics of my life, or at
Okay.
least I try, but these are in my mind. The first one is what I told you before, is to have a vision. It's important to have a vision, to see yourself in the things you want to realize, what you want. You have to see your project like at least realized in your mind. Not that every single details, because obviously things always gonna change, and it's not like you're gonna imagine. But it's important to have the vision in the long term of what you want to do and of you want to reach.
Mhm.
The second rule is to think big.
Mhm.
Always not thinking small. Like, for example, people when I planned cycling around the world, they said, "Oh, it's impossible. It's something too big. These things, you are not ready." But
Mhm.
big things happen just when you try to do it. When you have to think the big thing to realize it. If you don't think the big things, if you think small, you're always gonna be small.
Yeah.
And the third rule is to ignore the people that tell you are not able to do something, that you don't have the capacities, that you are not right, you are not ready, because you are the only one who really knows yourself. You are the only one who can know. Maybe your mother, but as soon as you are far from your mother, even from 5, 10 years, neither your mother really know yourself. So you are the only one. And so please say fuck off to the naysayers.
You're right.
The fourth rule is work hard your fucking ass, because things don't come from the sky like a gift, or the luck that people say, you're luck. Luck,
Mhm.
you catch the luck if
Mhm.
you move your ass. I make an example. This is life which go in this way straight, and this
Okay.
is the luck which come to this way. If you say stop, you will never catch the luck. But
Yeah.
if you move your ass, maybe you don't catch it the first time, but at the second or the third, at the end, the luck, you will meet that. But you have to work your ass to reach the things.
I
And
like
the
it.
last, the fifth and the last rule is to giving unconditionally good
Mhm.
vibes, love, good energy, thinking that our power can, however we are small, we can give an impact to the world, to make a better world, to make something better. Because if it's not us, who?
Mhm.
And if it's not now, when?
Mhm. Yes.
And like this, I stop. Bye bye.
Beautiful.
That's
Bravo.
it. That's it, my love. Mwah. Thank you so much for the calling, baby. I'm so happy
Me
to have.
too. Yeah, you have to go. You have to go. But we'll be in
Yeah,
contact and I'll show
baby.
you the
Let
final product.
whatever. Let me know. We keep in touch, and I love you so much.
Bye.
Ti voglio bene. Ciao,
Ciao,
bella.
ciao.
Thank you so much.
Okay. That's it. Thanks for watching.